Welcome to an introduction to Alteryx Server. Now, Alteryx Server provides a gallery for users to share their workflows from Alteryx Designer, which is what I've got up on screen right now. A scheduling engine to automate workflow execution, version control, and even master data management features. Now, one of the biggest allures is it allows non-Alteryx business users to sign in and execute workflows and applications directly from their web browser, spreading the benefits of automated data prep and analysis across your business. Alteryx Server is IT friendly too, with 24/7 dependability and advanced administration options that work alongside your business's existing IT governance controls to ensure that data only falls into the right hands. If you have no idea what Alteryx Designer is, or Alteryx at all for that matter, then please do make sure you check out my Alteryx introduction video first of all, and everything I'm going to talk about in this demonstration will make a whole lot more sense to you. Now, up on screen at the moment is a workflow that I built a little earlier on, and it gives me precisely the results that I'm after. That's great. Although, as an Alteryx Designer user, I can only run this workflow on my PC to produce the results that I need. What happens when other people around my business need to run, modify, and consume results for the flow for themselves? At the moment, they're going to have to give me a call and say, hey Ben, can you please run me that customer's transaction report again? Which of course is not very scalable at all. And this is precisely where the Alteryx Server comes in. By deploying this flow that you see right here to the Alteryx Server, what I'm going to do is allow anyone who has been granted the access to run this flow the opportunity to do so straight from their internet browser at their convenience. So let's get started. I'm going to take a look at the flow that I've got here up on the screen very quickly before we get ourselves into the Alteryx Server aspects. I've just got two files coming into this flow, the first of which is a customer's data set. I can see the data down here at the bottom. I've got some transactions. I'm just cleaning this data up using some of these preparation tools, joining them together, and then formulating this output. Now, what you're going to notice here as well is I've got some additional tools on this flow that you may not have seen before. These are the interface tools depicted by these black and white tools here at the start, and a few over here on the right hand side as well. Now, why this is quite important when we're deploying these workflows to the server is these tools can allow the user to customize their results by passing down parameters and variables into the flow. So the two I've got here at the start are what are called file browse tools, and it's going to allow the user to select the files that they're interested in using for executing this workflow. So we're going to allow the user to select their very own customers file and their very own transactions file, thus modifying the output of this flow specifically to their needs. So let's get started by clicking on this file button up top, save as, private gallery. I'm going to beam this up to the continuum gallery. Once I click onto save, I'm going to have this window here. Click onto OK, and now I can head over to my internet browser to see what that looks like in the Alteryx Server. So this is the Alteryx Server that you're seeing up on screen right now. Users are able to sign into the Alteryx Server with Windows integrated security by using their internal network credentials, SAML or SAML authentication, or even Alteryx's own built-in authentication method, which is where each user is attributed a username and password when their account is created by an administrator. What I'm going to do first of all is click onto where it says Private Studio here on the left hand side. Now, private studios are effectively a security or group structure within Alteryx Gallery that allow Alteryx Designer users to publish and share their workflows privately and only being visible to other designer users that are part of the same private studio. This in turn allows you to group designer users together for much better collaboration. Here's that customers and transaction reporting app that we uploaded to the gallery just a moment ago, right here. But how do I begin to share this workflow with other users? That's the whole point, right? Well, for that, what you're going to need to do is create what's called a collection. I can click on this option here for collections on the left hand side and bring up the menu. Let's go ahead and create a collection together now. So, first thing you need to do is to add a new collection by selecting this option here at the top right of my screen, add new collection. I'm going to give it a collection name, something meaningful. Let's just call it server demo for this instance. Click onto add, and I can see here at the bottom of this list I've got a new line here for my server demo collection. Now to administer this, all I need to do is click onto the button here, and I can start to add in the workflows I'd like to share with people. So let's go ahead and add in that application that we just created a moment ago, just by typing in customer transaction. Don't even have to spell it right, still finds it. Give that a click. Now I've got a tab here for users. I can go ahead and add in any users that I want to have access to this workflow. So let's go to add users. Let's type in Mr. Dan Hare. He can have access to this here. I'm going to make him an administrator. So that allows Dan to add and remove any assets, i.e. workflows or applications, update said assets, or even add and remove additional users to this collection. However, what I'm going to do here is add a new user. I'm going to add in David. And David, what I'm going to do is just leave all of these options unchecked, and that means only David can access this collection and run the workflows. He can't do anything else, which is what I want him to do. So let's click on to save, and then head on back to workflows and click onto this customers transaction reporting now. So this is the application window. There's a variety of different options here that you can see, such as the run button, of course, download, schedule, even got version control here, as I mentioned a little earlier. But rest assured, I'm seeing a lot more options than the typical end user would see, as I am the gallery administrator. So users wouldn't see the download button or the schedule button unless, of course, you've given those permissions for them to do so. They'd typically just be able to see this run button. So what I'm going to do is just click onto this run button, and then we're presented with this user interface. Again, that's designed within Alteryx Designer by using those black and white interface tools that we took a look at just a little bit earlier in the demonstration. So we should be able to see those two file browse tools that I utilized beforehand, one of which was of course to select our customers file, and another option here allows us to select that transactions file. So clicking onto the browse button here, what I can do is just go ahead and select that customers.csv file right here. Do the exact same for my customers XML document right here. And what you're going to notice is I've actually got a bigger interface here that allows me to choose a variety of different options as the end user and pass these parameters into the workflow. So again, they're created by using those same interface tools in Designer, but here I've got the option to select my top N customers, where N could be, let's say, 30, and I want to sort these top customers by, not by total sales, but much rather the number of orders that these customers have made. And I've even got the option here to select which customer segments I'm interested in. So I personally work for corporate and for home office, not interested in consumer or small business customers. Once this interface has been completed, of course, the next step is to click on to run. Now what's happening here is the workflow is running in the background on the server itself. And I've got two outputs configured. I can simply select this output file drop down right here, select the PDF for a report that I've configured in my workflow, and then select the file format, which is of course PDF. Now just click onto this download button, and it's like any other download that you would have in your internet browser. Click on download here, and I'm going to see the report pop on up. Give it a click, and then I can see this lovely formatted PDF report come up, and it's got all the data that I need in it, such as those two customer segments that I selected. And if I have a little scroll down, then I've got my customers and transactions report here containing my top 30 customers for each of the two segments that I selected. Even put in some lovely conditional formatting here, such as where the rows are equal to store number 105. I've highlighted those nicely just so I can zoom in on those in particular. I've even got here where the total sales figure is over 50,000, highlighted those in red. There's a variety of different options again which you can customize in Alteryx Designer as well. So, as an end user, I can take this report, download it from my web browser, consume the results of all the workflows that I've been permissioned access to run on that Alteryx server, and continue on with my job as I would have done before. But with the exception of having to complete this process manually, I now log on to the Alteryx server, run the application, and save bag loads of time in my day-to-day processing. Now hopefully that's given you a flavour of what Alteryx Server is all about, and allow you to grasp just how the server can begin to play an integral part of your technology framework. Of course, there's so much more to learn about Alteryx Server, such as its workflow scheduling capabilities, advanced administration panel, and even API connectivity. I really could talk about this sort of stuff all day long, but in the interest of time, I simply wanted to show you some of its core functionality. Should you be interested in taking a deeper dive with me into Alteryx Server, or even seeing some bespoke demonstrations that are tailored to satisfy your unique business requirements, then please don't hesitate to reach out to us here at Continuum by contacting enquiries@continuum.je, or of course heading over to our website, which is continuum.je. Thanks so much for your attention, and have a great day.